Today, I have a special guest for you. A new guest that you have not seen on the channel. Everyone, say hello to Scar. This is the cat that has been lurking in the background of the recent videos. And I decided to give him a formal introduction. He's a tabby cat. Whoa, why are you stretching? He's not my cat. I'm taking care of him for a while. Until my friend, takes him back. He's a handsome brother. That was his formal introduction. He didn't really like you because you're still baby self-improvement. You gotta level up. Let me wipe my fucking camera. Now that you and Scar have shook hands, I need to tell you a story. You've introduced yourselves, but there's something more important that I need to tell you about today. Let me tell you the story of one of the first times I went paintballing as a younger child. This was around high school, like early high school. This was the first time I went paintballing. Let me tell you something about my personality. I have always been obsessed with guns. This was partly due to my video gaming childhood. I was always obsessed with guns and just being in the army, like some sort of combat camaraderie where everybody, not just you suffer and you get to watch the faces of others suffering with you. And because you get to watch the faces of everyone else suffering with you, you know it's not just you. You know it's a team building, like suffering. The greatest way to build a bond between people, remember this because you can apply this somehow at some point in life, manipulatively, in a good way, whatever it is. The greatest way to bond two people is to give them the same suffering. In the Navy SEALs, when a team goes into the waves, into the freezing waves, lies flat and locks arms, it was called surf torture. Surf torture, they call it in the Navy SEALs training. When they lock arms together and they lay down flat and let the freezing waves crash upon them, hours upon hours upon hours. You can take a cold shower for 10 seconds and they do it for hours upon hours upon hours, and they bond immensely through it because of this, because they're together and because they're suffering together. And I've always had this fond, likeness for the army and the sorts. That's why every time there was a paintball outing between me and my friend group, I'd get excited. And because of how much heart I had into paintball and how much I liked it, I was good. I was the best at my team. I know I was a fucking video gamer nerd, unathletic as fuck, like skinny, fat, unathletic, shitty cardio, everything. I know all that, but sometimes you defy your own reality more than in just the physical realm. Sometimes you can break your limits, break your mind. Sometimes with adrenaline rushes, you can push that car off your child who's stuck under, that car off of your pet. Sometimes your physicality is nothing compared to the power of your mind, and this is what happens every time I enter paintballing, even to this day. So one day we go paintballing, this was around 9th, 10th grade, and we have a big bunch of our friends. Paintballing happens, and let me tell you something about paintball. Paintball hurts. Paintball fucking hurts. It depends on the pitch you went to. And back in Dubai, the paintball pitch that I went to was the bullets were big. The guns had strong firepower. Very, very strong firepower. Strong, like hard. They hit hard. Strong damage. Strong recoil, and they were powerful shots. Some paintballs are like light. They're think of it like a pistol. Right, like an M1 pistol versus a fucking Magnum revolver, right? One has way more firepower than the other. One is way more damaging than the other, and this was the paintballs there. So they hurt, and anyone who got hit, you'd hear them fucking yell, right? I barely got hit because I was stealthy and I was moving, and I did all of the Call of Duty shit, and I was just loving it, right? But we finished the game. And whenever you're either out of ammo or the game is done, you're meant to do one thing. You're meant to raise your gun. And this is what one of my friends did because, the game ended, right? It was like team deathmatch and the game ended, time finished, everyone's supposed to be done. Hands or gun up when you're walking out to the pitch so that game's done. If you're out of ammo, if you got hit on a free-for-all and you have no respawns, whatever it is, if you're walking out of the field, you raise your gun showing that you are out. It's almost like a white flag of paintball. You don't carry white flags with you, you just raise your gun. And this friend of mine, he was raising a gun, saying, yeah guys, the game's done. Everyone's raising their gun, they're just walking out. This was my friend. And I also had another friend who was a bit of a sly dog. This guy was a bit of a, he had a tick in his mind. He had some spark in his mind. He had some intrusive thoughts that were corrupting his mind. He barely shot his gun. He had a lot of ammo still in his gun. And obviously, paintball is done. We're broke kids at the time. We could barely afford it. We want to make use and get the satisfaction of just shooting shit. So the guy just walks out, and this other friend with the tick in his mind, with the intrusive thoughts, gets the intrusive thoughts like, I wanna shoot something. So they're both standing beside each other, just walking, and obviously the guy with his gun raised, he's just thinking, yeah man, I'm gonna walk out, game's done, it was nice, whatever. The guy with the intrusive thoughts though, his gun is raised, aims the gun at fucking almost point blank, and literally barrages the other guy. Full riddles him with paintballs. Now this guy had no ammo, so he couldn't retaliate. It was, bro, I felt so bad, man. Eventually he was able to hide. He literally fucking hid away and scurried away in the corners. There's literally nothing he could do, right? And all I could hear was the snickering laugh of the friend who shot the other friend. Game's done. Everyone's walking out, and I just walked out, we're changing clothes. And then the other friend who got riddled, he came by, and then he started changing his clothes, and his skin was like riddled, bro, butchered with paintball holes. Then, this is where the story gets interesting. This guy who got shot finds the guy who did the shooting. They make eye contact. This guy over here fucking runs, darts, sprints towards this guy, and just starts throwing punches, hammer after hammer after hammer after hammer after jab after, just throwing punches. Now granted, we were in 10th grade, so we couldn't kill each other by hits as adults can now, like you and me, but this could have caused some serious damage. Every single fucking friend who was there turned the other way. Why? Because they were too tired. They were too fucking tired. And the funny part is that none of them did anywhere near as much as I did. I was the one moving around. I was the one flanking. I was the one taking risks. I was the one with the adrenaline high. I was the one moving. I was the one diving. I was the one doing all the shit. And they were tired. And I saw them all just look away, pretend like it didn't fucking happen when two of their closest friends, like they said, were fucking beating the shit out of each other. When literally permanent damage could have happened. Everybody looked away except one person. Except one person. The person who did the most in the game. Me. I walked up to them, ready to take fucking hits. Ready, these guys were hit, when adrenaline is high and guys are fighting hard and they're just beating each other and there's no hold me back type shit. There's no hold me back. They wanna pummel each other. I forced myself in between, taking hits, but it meant nothing. It meant nothing because I had two brothers who were bashing the fuck out of each other, and I was put there and meant to stop it. I was meant to be the ballistic shield in between two bullets. I was meant to be the sandbag in between the soldiers, the trench in between the soldiers. I was meant to be each of their shields, not like the other fucking... I don't want to badmouth, they're different, alright? But not like them. I was the only one who stood up and tried to help. And there's probably a good reason that none of them are severely injured to this day because of me. There's a good chance that one of them may have been someone might have got hit, knocked out, hit his head on the metal bench in the corner, got fucking paralyzed, got a concussion, died! I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's a reality that could have happened. But we never know, and we never will be able to know because obviously the day was, the only way we would know is if one of them fucking died, and now I'd be making this video saying, oh bro, I wish I helped. But it's a good thing I did. And this leads me on to the fucking shameful peasants of modern day. The shameful donkeys, the goblins, the cretins, the slimiest, the crab analogy? Bottom of the bucket crab. You aren't the crab at the bottom. You are the slime that's in the shit of the crab. You know how some shits are hard? Some shits are slimy, diarrhea-like. That's what you are! The people who record people fighting, laughing, and posting it to Instagram. When something as serious as possible death can happen right in front of you. Man, let me just get some fucking content. If that's your content, you need people fighting to get some clicks and views. You fucking slimy donkey. You slimy piece of shit. You're such a fucking mold. You're a mold on the earth. You are that mold that occurs on the corner of that strawberry that we cut off and then have the rest. You are the slime of society. Why the fuck do you think you can come to this channel and talk about, oh man, I'm an honorable man, I'm a strong masculine man, I'm a good guy, bro, I'm a disciplined man, I've got the mindset, bro, I'm gonna be successful, God is proud of me, bro, oh yeah. And then you go home, or you go to school, or you go wherever you go, and you like fucking Instagram videos of people fighting. There's a difference between that unprofessional, slimy, childish, like hood gangy fight behavior that you see in the streets and professional fighting that you see in the UFC and MMA and boxing. That shit that's controlled, that's honorable, that's fair most of the time. This shit is fucking slimy and it starts for the dumbest reasons, and the slimier thing is you let me clip it. And you talk about being honorable. And you talk about being the guy with discipline. And you talk about the guy who people should look up to. And you want to be the guy with influence. You want to lead by example. When you can't even do something as simple as having some inklet of valor to step in between those two. Yeah, you'll take hits. You're meant to take the hits. Yeah, you'll get hurt. You're meant to get hurt. You signed up to be in this position. You signed up to be the guy people want to look up to. Well, you're going to have to take the hits. You're going to have to get hurt. If you signed up for this, then you better take the fucking tasks you need to get to that level. When you go to the army, you don't sign up to eat fucking unicorn flavored Oreos, you slimy donkey. You sign up for the pain, you know, and expect it. Why the fuck do you expect anything else? If you want to be a man of honor, a man of character, a man of leading, a man of influence, and you watch slime happen in the world and you don't put a stop to it, who the fuck are you? You're not that, man. You're a slime on this earth. I'm not telling you here to try and stop every single fucking street fight in the world and try and get yourself killed, but you have signed up for the risk. Okay, I'm not telling you to be a social justice warrior here. I'm telling you to at least fucking stop the fights between your brothers. When you can stop a fight, or when you can stop a conflict from happening, one of the greatest quotes in the medical world is, and I'm already currently very against the modern medical, world. One of the biggest and most important quotes there is, prevent, don't cure. Prevention is better than the cure. That's the quote. Prevention is better than the cure. And in the case of conflict, prevention is better than the resolution. And that's your job. Your job is the prevention, because you can make millions of dollars. You can save losses of millions of dollars. You can save lives. You can save families. You can save relationships. You can save breakups. And I'm not telling you to be the person who's walked over. I'm telling you to be the man of honor who can speak for the truth, who can speak for the justice, and who can speak for himself and for what is right. And I know I sound like some, old man who's honorable, like, I'm not trying to tell you to become a social justice warrior, like I said. I'm telling you to stand up for what is true, what is just, and what is right. To stand up for honor. For as a man, that is practically the only thing that you have. Wish not for a lighter load, but for a stronger back.